All right.
Come on. Pull me up. Well.
What's going on, Ash? I'm gonna mute it out. I'm gonna mute it real quick just so you know they don't hear me over there on the Barclays side. Okay. But yeah, I'll check back in with you. Okay.
Get my feet out here.
Boom,
Don't
boom,
tell
boom,
Flippin'
boom,
big
boom, boom,
bed.
boom,
Let me get
boom,
some
boom,
cover.
boom. All right, all right.
Yay, some cover. Got the Ninja Turtle.
You got Ninja Turtles over there?
Yeah,
Okay.
me. And Will, another person.
As you probably can hear, little man feeling better right now.
Got the Ninja Turtles. They're sleeping. Look at the Ninja Turtles. Oh, let me get my belly off let me get my head off the
I'm multitasking.
Hey, you get off of my belly. Get off of my belly. Give me that. I'm going to sleep with Dad. Can I sleep with you? Yes.
And my client checking on
I
her
love you.
credit application. Another line.
I can sleep with you too.
Yeah, this dude over here
Ow.
acting like he was never sick.
Let me get in here.
What's going on, Jose?
Hey,
Look at this dude.
Let me sleep.
He's playing over here like he got toys and he got toy room, but this is what he decides to do right now is play with my wine bar slash coffee bar. This dude. Crazy.
I'm sure I'm better, okay?
So like I said, yep, you're definitely gonna hear the background. What's going on, Shanice?
Come on, grab into my hand.
Oh, Jose, you're at work. Yeah, man. You know, you gotta do what you gotta do to make that money. While we wait on some questions and more people to get on, I'm gonna share something with you all. What's going on, Gold Chaser? How you doing? I'm gonna share some things. I'm gonna talk about some things you probably don't want to hear about today. Talk about them anyway. All right, we're gonna talk about the next bubble that's gonna pop. The next bubble that's gonna pop is going to be student loan debt. That's been known to me now for a long time. You know, if you've got student loans right now and you're paying them or you're not paying them because they're in deferment, you know, that's definitely gonna pop. Sorry, checking in with a client as well. I got a client on the phone with Barclays right now, checking his credit card application. So I'm kind of multitasking here. All right, but yeah. You wanna say hi? Say hello. Okay. All right. But we're gonna talk about some student loan debt things today, and why it's important that you know that's gonna be the next bubble that pops. Say hi. All right. Okay.
Mommy.
That's not mommy. That's not mommy.
Who is it?
We're talking to a lot of people right now. Just everybody. You just say hi. Let me say hi.
Hi.
Okay. All right, go play. So like I said, I told you he'd be inside the video because, of course, he has type A influenza, and you will hear him in the background of my videos right now just because, of course, he's home with daddy. He's not at daycare. So, yeah. Yeah, his shirt says, "I'm King," like I apostrophe M King, because his middle name is actually King. So he has "I'm King" on his, and I have credit is Queen, cat to a cash king. On my shirt, my wife has her shirt. It says credit is Queen. So we all have our little king and queen shirts going on. But his name is actually King, so definitely fits him. But anyway, so let me show y'all something here, real quick. And Eric, if you're watching this, I see your message. Okay. I want to show y'all this real quick. And you're more than welcome to ask a question as I pull this up for you. Yes, Gold Chase, you definitely get the AU packages first. Only if you're ready for the AU packages. I definitely suggest you have your credit clean already, or at least one credit bureau clean to get funding with that bureau. So just make sure that you are ready for funding. A lot of people aren't ready who call me. I advise them what they should do, but of course, if you still want to get the AUs and I tell you you're not ready, you still want to buy them, you definitely can because you know it's your money. But make sure your credit is clean first before you add AUs to your account. All right. Let's see here. Make sure I didn't miss a question while this is loading up. How do trade lines? How do AUs? Oh, they stay in your credit report for 2 billing cycles. Langston, 2 billing cycles. So if they report on the 20th of March, then you'll have it reported on the 20th of March and the 20th of April. And then after that, you'll be done. No more reporting. It'll show up as a closed account though on your credit. It just won't be an open account. It'll be closed after the 2 billing cycles. Okay. So this was actually oh, you're welcome. Yeah, this is actually breaking news today, in which, I've known about stuff like this going on for a long time, but now they're actually trying to make it to where it's a law because they already know that this bubble's going to pop. So to try to prevent the bubble from popping, they're trying to pass this law today. Okay. Let's see. Here's clean. I have 2 items I need removed. Hers is clean. Yeah. Okay. So she's ready. Gotcha. And you're not completely ready, but if you have, let's say if you have a bureau too that's clean, you can get funding with that particular bureau though. Okay. Now, this right here was from 2 hours ago, which they're talking about now taking like people who have W-2 incomes, which means you have a job. They're talking about trying to pass this law now. The Republicans are, whether you're Republican or not, doesn't matter. We're not getting into politics here, okay? But they're trying to pass a law now to have your student loans deducted out of your paycheck automatically. So you don't have no say-so in it. If you owe student loans, they're going to figure out a payment that you're supposed to take, that they're going to have calculated or pre-calculated, and they're going to take this money automatically out of your paycheck. And this is, right here, you can kind of, if you can read that, you can read that. I'll hold up for a few seconds here so you can read it, or if you want to snapshot it for later or something like that. Or you want to just find this article, you definitely can just Google it, put in CNBC, type in some of those little top of the story words, and you can go read it for yourself as well. But you can also, read into the next bubble bursting, which was student loans. That's where a lot of our debt is, and a lot of things that we haven't even cleaned up from previous recessions as well. So we kind of put Band-Aids on problems instead of like actually, we actually needed surgery. And instead of getting surgery, we put a Band-Aid on it. Instead of getting stitches, we put a Band-Aid on it, something like that. So it's going to be a whole collection of things, student loans. It's going to be a lot of, housing market things is going to happen. And that's why it's very important that you get finances in order. If you have a business plan and you're trying to execute that business plan, just go for it. It's definitely not going to hurt you to go for it. Okay. Now, if you don't mind me, I'm just going to check on my client here real quick, and I'll be right back. Hey, bro, you all set? Did you send Okay, did you tell them that you need to send in the back of the ID, or they said they were okay without having it? Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, cool, cool. All right. Gotcha. All right, well just yeah, just let me know. And then when you send that other payment, let me know as well. I'm not going to finish this live. I'll probably be on this live for the next hour, at least. So just let me know about Friday. See if you got an update because I'm curious. All right. Okay, bro. I'll talk to you soon. Okay, later. All right. Sorry about that. Pause for the calls. Like I said, I'm trying to multitask here. Um, Make sure I didn't miss any questions. Wells Fargo cash back, is it any good? Wells Fargo card is really good. I've heard some things about their about their approval process that people have had to like wait amounts of time to get approved. Um, Other than that, I haven't heard anything terrible. Just personally, I'm not a big fan of a lot of the bigger banks. When I say bigger, I do have some big names. I have Discovers, I have Amexes, but there's certain ones I just don't really mess with personally, and that's Wells Fargo, Bank of America, and Chase. Even though Chase has some great cards, I just don't want to. I don't want to have to go through the whole jumping through hoops and having to have this for this many months. I can't have this card, the whole 524 thing. Like I just don't like having to go through all that. I like, being able to apply for a card and knowing no matter what I have as far as credit cards, I can just get a card with a company. But to answer your question, no, they're not necessarily bad. I know they do have instances where they do want to verify income. So just be prepared for that. If you put an income on there that you're applying for, make sure you can back up that income. And it's all household income. So if you can prove it, then you're all good. Gold Chaser, that would depend because if your wife is ready for funding and you want to go ahead and get funding for her, because see, if you buy a trade line or trade line package, it's not for two people. Even if you're married, that's not how trade lines work. So you can get hers if you want. If you want to just start with hers first, cost you less money up front as well. You can go ahead and get hers started, get her some funding, see how much she gets. That'll excite you about wanting to go ahead and have yours done, then you can pay for your trade lines, then yours hit, then you already got your wife 50,000 or 100,000 or whatever, and I'm gonna get you probably the same exact thing or not more, if not more. So, you start with hers, get her some money, take care of the baby first, say happy Valentine's Day, here's some more credit you can spend, and then take care of yours. Okay, totally up to you though. Let me see. Questions. So if one traditionally gets their credit clean but still hasn't reached that 715 threshold, do they still have to wait on funding or just wait for the AU package? Okay, so credit cleaning does not mean you are at a 700. That goes for anybody watching. I'm not just addressing you. Like some people think that if I clean my credit, my score is automatically going to be in the 700s, and that's not true whatsoever. You can get your credit clean and be in the 400s. You can get credit clean and be in the 500s. I mean, because it's all about what's negative. So if all you have is negative accounts, you gotta take basically everything off. If you have closed accounts that have negative attached to them, and let's say you get the traditional repair, then once we remove all those negative payments, that account is still closed. So even though it helps you as far as approval statuses and stuff like that, your score is still going to be low because you don't have enough open accounts. So, having a higher score is going to be a combination right now of having, the right amount of credit history and having credit history, period, and having credit history with some primaries. And so that's why having a primary portion is important. And like I said yesterday, I got a client approved. I just want to do an experiment, and they let me do it. I got them $2,000 credit card, and they had no primaries at all. All they had was just AUs. But I know from majority of people who are watching me, they're looking for the 5K, 10K, 20K type of cards. That's what they're mainly looking for when they're thinking about funding. So it's not going to benefit you a whole lot if you're going to spend, $2,000 or even $1,000 on some trade lines, and you get $2,000 in funding. Even though that makes sense. I mean, your ratio is good as far as your return on investment, but it's not fantastic. If you spend $1,000, $2,000 to get 50K to 100K in funding, that return on investment is fantastic. And that's about to paint a picture of people so they can understand that, when it comes to like AU trade lines, an AU trade line, as far as what it is, everybody should know what it is by now. But when you're getting AU trade lines, you're purchasing this, from either a company or a person or a combination of the two. And now when you're doing that, of course, there's no refunds on AUs when you're buying AUs. Okay. So that's why the payment system is set up to where you can only pay certain ways for that. Because it's not like you can go and call, Chase or whatever and say, hey, I want to be applied to somebody else's credit card. Do that for me. No, you have to go through a whole nother way to get these type of trade lines. So if you don't have friends and family and stuff to add you on, you have to pay for it outside. And so that's why we take our payments. So we can take our payments, because anybody can just say, well, man, you don't take credit cards. You don't do this. You don't do that. It must not be legit. And in reality, you're really not supposed to do a lot of these things. Like, it's not something that they can regulate through a payment system. Like, if I'm a bank and I don't see any other like company having trade lines as far as like authorized users for sale, as part of their product line, and I've never seen that, if a person disputes that charge, it's going to be an automatic, oh, this is something that's fraudulent or something like that. And now that person has a back charge for a trade line because it's a product or service that doesn't really exist, if that makes sense to anybody. So I try to make sure when people call me, I had a client call me earlier today, and I explained to him the prices of the credit sweeps and things of that nature. And, he was like, well, what kind of protection do I have for my credit sweeps? And I was like, you don't have any. You have zero. There is no regulation on that. You don't have any protection whatsoever. So you spend your money, that's at your own risk. If you don't, then you don't. I'm not going to convince you on the phone. Like, there's no point in trying to express to me how you feel about the prices, why you shouldn't pay the money. Then just don't spend the money. Like, it's a very, very simple thing. I don't really try to make anybody do anything. I try to give you the information and you make the decision. Now, what most folks won't tell you, they won't tell you none of that stuff until after you pay. I'm going to tell you that before you pay. So that's the difference between me and somebody else who may just say, hey, this is great, and call you back and try to, hustle you into spending that money. I don't have time for that. I don't want you blowing up my phone. I want you to be able to get what you need and know what the terms and conditions are of what you need and be happy, and that's it. So let's see. Let me answer some questions here, and I'll get back to my topic. But that's not where you came here. You came here for credit questions. But I say credit questions. Yeah, primary lines help your score as well as the AUs. Yeah. Oh yeah, the Wells Fargo cashback card. Yes. Like I said, it's not that it's easy to get. Like I don't like messing with like a lot of those type of banks like Wells Fargo, Bank of America. But as far as them being easy, I wouldn't say that they're easy. I would say that, they're a little bit more lenient, but they're not going to give you a lot of money unless they can verify information. And a lot of times they don't give a lot of instant approvals. Sometimes they have you wait. Even if your score is in the high 700s, they still say, we need to contact you in 10 days, or we'll write you a letter or something like that. And I don't like that. I don't like waiting. I want some instant decision money to happen. The primary will show on your credit how fast will it post. You can call the company about that, because that will depend on how fast you buy it. They're going to report once a month, okay? And they do all the reporting all at the same time. So depending on how fast you pay for it and how fast you make your first payment. See, most credit cards are not going to post until you're making your first payment. So what you want to do, you want to wait until you actually have that first payment. You can pay your first payment, in advance. But usually they report within, 30 days, if not 60 days. Like I said, it just really depends on when exactly you signed up for that primary. Do you help with business credit? Mr. Edward, yes, I do help with business credit. To my mom about you, she has nothing bad on her credit, but she has a bunch of inquiries. Yeah, we need to get those inquiries removed, but also you want to make sure she does have some positive things on her credit. Gold chaser. Make sure she has something that's reporting positive, not just nothing negative. And if that's the case, she can get her inquiries removed. I can remove her inquiries for her. When it's best to ask for a credit increase? It's best to ask for a credit card increase when your credit card balances on all of your cards are lower. The lower the better, especially under like 20%. You want to have it low like that. That's really good. I'm actually going to check on something here. I might find this interesting. I just cooked some, can y'all see that? I can't see that well. Some Nathan's hot dogs. Take something to eat real quick, because I'm fat. Can't tell. Just want to make sure I didn't overcook my hot dogs. What are primaries? I will get to that in 1 second. Let me go back and answer these other questions here. Let's see. What's good, Alex? Yeah, you just want the 5K. Yep. 08 Breezy, the hard inquiries are not included in the sweep. The inquiries are separate service. Right now I'm doing $40 per inquiry. You want big credit increases? Yes. So best time to ask is after you've actually made a big payment. If you have your balances at like, let's say $3,500 for an example, and then you spent like $2,500 to bring that balance down, as well as your other cards are reporting for you are also down, then you want to apply then. Okay, make sure your score is higher. Make sure everything is looking good before you apply. Make sure all your credit cards are in good standing before you actually apply for an increase. All right, now if you're applying for an increase with certain companies, it don't matter how good your credit look, they won't give you a big increase. But a lot of companies, I know that Amex does 3 times your limit. So if you've got 5,000 right now, you can possibly get 15,000 if your credit score qualifies you. Okay. Hey, Jeremiah, be a little bit quieter, or you need to go upstairs to your room, okay? All right. Let me get to all these questions here. Yes, I have to say that because, people don't understand. Like, I don't want you to not have an understanding, because when you don't have an understanding or clear information, that causes confusion. And then with that confusion, you have buyer's remorse. And with buyer's remorse, you start thinking about things. You might talk to your spouse or your friends and like, why did you do that? Next thing you know, my phone's on a lituation. Like, everybody's blowing my phone up like it's like nobody's business. And it's like, why? I've already told you. I've already expressed to you. I already told you the time frame. Why are you calling my phone so much? So that's why I tell you everything up front. I don't want you to feel bad if I'm not answering every call that you call, because I'm answering other people's calls at that time, and you call me back to back. Like, that's going to make me answer the phone when I'm on the phone with somebody else. It's not going to help. So just FYI, I'm one who is always in the pot and right there every step of the way, and it's hard sitting back waiting on the process and feeling like I'm not doing anything. I want to do more. Yeah, I mean, there's only so much you can do when you're getting your credit repaired. Like I said, all you can do really is just keep everything positive. Like, make sure that what you're doing, make sure you have a plan for, your future bills. Just make sure you're paying everything down and you're not, going out trying to rack up more credit while you're getting your credit fixed. If you can help it. Emergencies happen, but if you can help it, you're just trying not to go crazy with that process. Now, if you're doing a traditional credit repair, you're going to get letters in the mail from Experian, Equifax, all that good stuff. If you just signed up for credit repair through that service, if you got a big envelope from Equifax or Experian, TransUnion, you have to send those back in, because the actual fighting of your credit cannot start until we receive the credit reports. That's why we have them sent to you. You have to send those back in. You can either fax them, email them, take a picture of them, email them of each page. You can do it like that if you don't have the money to send them off. But you got a fax machine, fax them. You go to FedEx, Kinko's, and fax them off. But that process cannot start until we receive the credit reports back from you, so we know what we need to dispute. Okay, for the traditional repair. Okay, make sure you know that. Bop, bop, bop. Going back, questions. Okay, what primary? I'm lost. Okay, so OJ, primary account. So a primary account is an account that you have in your name that you are the main owner of, credit-wise. So a primary account can be a car, it can be a credit card, it can be a personal loan. Something that's in your name that's still open is preferable, but a primary account can still be closed. It's just not going to help you as much with getting funding. I was just getting a primary account that is a revolving credit account. Revolving means it never closes. An installment credit account, a primary credit account, or a primary trade line, different names for it. An installment pays off. So if you got a 20K car, once you pay off that 20K, it's done. It's closed. A revolving account doesn't get paid off. That's why credit cards are revolving. Even though you pay it down to zero, it keeps reporting because you can always keep using it. All right? So that's what a primary is. Let's see. That. Oh, Gold Chairs, that's what's up, man. You can hit me up about that if you, if your prices are reasonable. A lot of people's prices aren't reasonable, so it's nothing that, if they can't do something I can do myself, then, there's really no point. Let's see, what's up, Ish? Chuck, keep these great videos coming, bro. Very informative. Salute. I appreciate that price tag, for sure. Okay, all right. That's what's up. Okay, I just want to make sure. See, Sydney, I used your link to get the Amex Blue Card. I was approved for $5,000. Hey. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, Sydney, send me that screenshot. If you don't mind, you can text the screenshot to 8333-556697, which is the my 1-800 number. The 1-8333-J-NOS, Sydney. If you got that approval letter or you got that screenshot, send me that, man. I always like to see that. Let me borrow $5,000 while you're at it. Okay. Okay, you sent all over 90 pages. Okay, great, Ashley, fantastic. I just want to say that in general, since everybody's watching it as well, just so they know. Okay, Malik, what's up, Malik? Yes, sir. We just got Malik's credit inquiries in. We just got his credit inquiries submitted in today. So look forward to knocking those inquiries out for your brother, man. Okay, still waiting on TransUnion. Okay, Ash, all right. and I'll be able to check in and see, what the dispute statuses are and everything. So, OJ, I got primary recommendations. I do have about 3 or 4 primary videos here under my channel. Make sure you subscribe. You can scroll down through my videos. You'll see where they say primaries on there. So they'll literally say primaries in the title. You can just watch that, click on that, and sign up. Okay. But yeah, Sydney, that's what's up, man. I love that. I see the great thing is, Sydney, is like when you get that increase, because you can get an increase in like 3 to 6 months with Amex. You get that increase. Let's say you can get about, if you keep doing right with your credit, and I'm not saying it's not right, I'm just saying you keep doing right, and then you got that score like elevated where you want it to be, easy 15,000. On your first increase, $15,000. It's a beautiful thing. Okay. Goal Chaser. My Instagram is JKnowsCredit. At JKnowsCredit. No underscores, no spaces, no money signs, no credit card symbols. Just at JAYKNOWS and credit. Let's see. After you submit your first round of 609 letters, and I disputed 8 things in which 4 were deleted, the other 4 were not. What must I do to now get those ones off? Now, like I said in the other videos, I don't do 609 letters. Not saying that they don't work, because they work for people. I just don't have to do 609 letters. Now, if you got anything back from you doing credit repair yourself, and they verified it or whatever, that doesn't mean you stop there. You have to go to another level. Nothing wrong with writing in the same letter a second time to try to get that same information off. The problem is most people who do credit repair on their own, they see that it was verified and they never try again. What you don't understand is that verified doesn't actually mean verified all the time. It just means it was computer verified. It wasn't actually system verified through the information being 100% correct. So you have to be able to be diligent in your process and keep on fighting that information with new letters, new certifications. You need to send off something else. As soon as you got the information back, if you just got that back now, go ahead and write again. Okay? Don't stop. If you stop, then that's money out your pocket. How familiar are you with getting clients funding in the state of Georgia? Oh, I'm very familiar. I just got another client, and I don't know if he's watching. His name is Diamond, and that is his real name. His real name is Diamond. Just so you know, I had to make sure. I was like, "Your real name is Diamond?" He was like, "Yeah, my real name is Diamond." I was like, "Wow." But yeah, I just got him some funding. He got just $2,000 in funding. I mean, that's just happened within the past couple of days. This is somebody who just has a secured credit card. That's all they had on their account was a secured credit card. So this was a secured credit card. I got him $2,000. And that's on one credit card, not on several. Didn't have to give him no program. That was just a major credit card I was able to get for him out the gate. But I know a lot of people who live in Atlanta and outside of Atlanta who call me about funding all the time. So that's just something I just did recently. So very familiar. If you're ready, just let me know. What was that, sir?
Where's mommy?
Mommy's at work. Okay. You gonna stay down here and play? You go upstairs in your room and play. Which one? Which one?
Play.
Where?
Downstairs.
Okay. Keep it quiet. All right. Make sure I don't have any other questions. All right. So back to my topic there. On the student loans, while I'm waiting on more questions. Oh, yeah. Awesome. I appreciate that. Bots and yachts. I like that. Do lenders deny working with you if you have business with a credit repair company? Lenders like for home loans. Okay. So number one,
Well, I passed it.
lenders cannot deny you because they can't see anything from any credit repair company. There is no credit repair links that would tie me or anybody else. Jeremiah? You're too loud. So you can stay down here. Okay, Daddy's going upstairs. Don't come upstairs. Uh, but there's what was I talking about? My son done threw me off here. Oh, the lenders thing. They have no way to kind of track if you are associated with a credit repair company or not. So I deal with a lot of lenders. When I say lenders, I mean I deal with a lot of people who sell homes, and when they're selling homes, you know, they're trying to close their client out so they can get that commission. You know, their whole goal is to get that commission, so that way, you know, they can feed their family. So they'll call me to get some inquiries off, or might get a collection off or something like that, so that way they can get this client to close on this house. So I haven't had any problems with any lenders, you know, having something removed. I mean, you can always call a lender and be like, hey, and they might tell you that you have this, and this, and that. And you say, oh, that's not right. I've been trying to get that off my credit report for the past 6 months or whatever. And so when you're ready to close on your house or something like that, and now it's off, they don't just go back and say, hell, well, you can't get this house because you got this removed from a credit repair agency. There's no way to prove that. All you're going to have is, say you did traditional repair, for an example, all you're going to have is a letter from the credit bureaus that shows what came off and what didn't. You know? So, oh, Darius, I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. New credit card funding coming soon. Yeah. Okay. I probably just need to make a video on credit card funding. I'll just make a video on that. I'm sure I just need to make note of that. Oh, dope Instagram page. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So still getting into, I like to just drop some knowledge if I can. Doesn't mean you have to listen or watch, but I do drop some knowledge while I'm waiting on questions. How long does it normally take to have a bankruptcy removed? Through traditional credit means, there's not really a particular way to answer that. It all depends on how old that bankruptcy is. If you think about traditional repair, anything can come off in 30 days. Anything. Through a traditional letter. It could just reach them. They could not respond. It can come off just like that. Realistically, that's not going to happen for everybody. Like, I had a client who had 47 items removed in the first round through traditional repair. They paid $79. They paid $120 for the first month. And then I get a message in my inbox, and actually it was on Facebook. I get a message saying that their credit got cleaned up. And I said, well, how many items got removed? They said 47. I said, well, dang, 47? The first round? They're like, yeah. I was like, oh, okay. That surprised me. So, but that's not realistic. That's not going to happen for every client. You know, I had a client, I took 11 months to get 2 items off. You know, so... But through a sweep service, through a credit sweep service, then you're talking about 45 business days. And that's going to come off. No matter if you had that bankruptcy last month or you had it 3 years ago. Doesn't matter. Different process, so it's more of a more guaranteed time frame. Okay? Let's see. Oh, move my finger out of the camera. All right, so so would I send the same 609 letter and notarize, or is there another letter I have to send? Now, PC Mobile, I'm not sure if 609 letter, is that the only letter you have? If that is the only letter you have, you definitely need to do more. I wouldn't just send only that. You can send that again for a second round, though. That's totally fine to send it for a second time. But I would switch it up. So while you go ahead and pay that little, $3 or $4, whatever it takes to notarize that, or not notarize it, to send off that certified mailing, then do some research and find a way to find some other templates, or find something that you can read as far as a template and make it into your own wording. Okay, You don't want to just copy and paste. In my personal opinion, you don't just want to copy and paste. You want to be able to word some things to where it actually looks like you wrote it compared to it looking like a credit repair company wrote it for you. You know, so do some research on that and find some other letters. Now, if you don't have letters and you don't have anybody to go to, then yes, I do have information. I have all of my letters and everything in a cloud. And so if you want to take any of my letters and copy them or something like that, you can. It's just not free to do that. But there are a lot of free resources where you can do that. Okay? So just letting you know. Is ScoreSense.com a good resource for obtaining credit scores? ScoreSense, I tried to use them. They made it very difficult for me to even log into them. I'm not going to say that they're not. I really don't know what their access is. If they're giving you all 3 scores or not, because they might only be giving you TransUnion or only Experian. So make sure you're getting all 3 scores if you are using them. If you're not getting all 3 scores, you can also use several services to get all 3 scores for free. If you want one place to do that, and they don't have that, then you might just need to go, do something out of pocket. But the easiest way, and I know people don't like this, but use Credit Karma and then use Experian for just their Experian report. And if you want to pay for the score, pay for the score. And anytime you decide you don't want to pay for the score no more, you don't need it because you're not buying anything important right now, then just don't pay for it. Cancel it for a little while. Go back to reactivating it later. Don't sit there and have a monthly bill for a credit repair, or not credit repair, a credit monitoring service. You're not even in the market of doing anything with your credit. Like, you don't have any plans of buying anything. You just got an extra bill. So don't do that. Don't think also that Credit Karma scores are fake. They're not fake. They call them Fakos. It's not a Fako. The actual whole Vantage score process, when you hear about Vantage score, that's what Credit Karma is your Vantage score. Okay, so when you see the Vantage score, that was actually created by all 3 credit bureaus. They actually came together, built a company together. That company is called Vantage score. That Vantage score is what Credit Karma uses. So when people say it's fake, it's not fake. It's a real score. It's just not a FICO score, which you use for houses. Right now, you can only use a FICO score to buy a house. You can use your Vantage score to buy everything else but a house. But soon, hopefully in the next year or two, because they're fighting right now to get that done, where you can buy a house with a Vantage score. And you can also look that up. All right. So, yeah, just some little plug knowledge there. And how do you contact me? 1-8333-J-KNOWS, the letter J and KNOWS, or 1-833-55-6697. Let's see. What's the difference in credit sweep and normal credit repair? Credit sweep is faster. Normal credit repair is not as fast. Credit sweep, so you have to pay all the money up front. There is no payments. You have to pay in a non-traditional way. Credit repair, you can pay through a credit card. You can pay, like in payments, you pay $79 up front and $120 a month. So what you're really paying for with credit repair is you're paying for, what is regulated. Credit sweep, you're paying for what is not regulated. Credit sweeps are faster than normal credit repair. So it depends on how fast you need things to move. If you don't need things to move fast, then don't get credit sweeps. I don't try some people on credit sweeps. I tell them to get what is necessary for them, like for where they are, not for where I want them to be. Excuse me. All right. Credit sweep, the price is all based on how much debt you have, or how many accounts you want removed, or the type of account, or even if the account is not negative and you just want to get it off your credit report because it's hurting your credit to debt ratio. All that is going to be counted up in what the price is. There is no set price for the credit sweep. If you want to know, if you want to inquire about your personal price, what it's going to cost you, then you need to call us. 1-8333-J-KNOWS. Okay? One 1-833-55-6697. You can call and text that phone number. All right. Waiting on more questions. All right, so the student loan bubble is going to bust. Either it's going to bust really hard, or people are going to be taking money out their paychecks, which I don't think that the lawmakers. I don't think so. At least I don't think it's going to pass. But if it does pass, it's going to hurt a lot of people financially if they're drafting your student loan payments out of your paycheck. That's what we're talking about. So if you missed this earlier, I talked about that, and you can Google about that right now as well, where they're trying to take your student loan payments out of your paychecks now. So that's going to be a huge like takeaway from spending. That's going to hurt restaurants from getting, people spending money on eating out. That's going to hurt retail sector. That's going to hurt a lot. I mean, even if the bubble doesn't pop, if that passes through, I know the bubble's going to pop, but if they have this pass through and the bubble doesn't pop, it's going to pop other bubbles because it's going to have a trickle effect for about, 40 million Americans, at least 40, 50 million. Because a lot of people have their student loans in deferment. It's either, and you can tell me if you have student loans right now. I know a lot of people make a lot of money, but there's a lot of people who don't make a lot of money. So a lot of people right now, they have deferment. They keep deferring it. Or they have it income-based, to where it's only based on what they make. So they only pay a small amount, or they lie. They're lying about where they are. Or they got a business to where they can just report with them that they don't make any money. So that goes back to either deferment or payment plan, where they can just pay zero. Then you got the people who are paying theirs in full. But that's a very small percentage right now who are paying what their full payment is. It really is. It's a very, very small percentage of people who are doing that because so many people don't make the money. Like they make like 35, 40K and their student loans are already 30, 40, 50K. So it's very hard for them to be able to pay a $700 payment or a $400 payment on top of paying for their house, whether that's mortgage or rent, and then paying for their car insurance and their car and gas, and then paying for, their student loan payments. Like that's a big thing. And then trying to eat, like it's gonna be very hard for people to survive, if they're living like that. So that's why it's very important for situations like if you're ever caught in a situation where money's a problem, at least you know that stuff can get done if your credit's good. If your credit's good, you can always make a move. That's why I like looking at credit as being able to make a move even though your cash says you can't make a move. Even though your job says you're stuck, at least you know that you can at least do something to kind of maneuver yourself out to where you're not in a great depression, so to speak, in your household. You still can get things done. You can still eat if you need to eat. You can still go out sometimes and not feel like you just work all the time, But it's very important to prepare yourself for the what ifs. So I look at what ifs all the time. What ifs may not be the best thing to look at because I do hate when women do what ifs. And I love y'all women out there, but sometimes y'all be like, well, what if a girl walked past you and she had a bigger butt than me? Would you go talk to her? Like, not that kind of what if. Not kind of what if I'm talking about. I'm talking about the what ifs when it comes to finances. I look at what if situations to where if, what if, my job started cutting people, for an example. What if my wife lost her job? What would happen? She works for the state. So what would happen if she lost her job? Where would we be at financially? Okay, and I've already got that question answered. I already know what's going to happen over the next 2 years. And so you got to be able to plan for that. What happens if they cut you? So if they do cut you, what is your plan of attack? What is your plan of recovery? What is your plan on living the next day? Are you going to cry? Are you going to call all your friends and beg them to hire you or give you a referral? Like, what is your plan? You got to have a set plan to where...
Dad, I want to go to Target.
You want to go to Target? What you want to buy? Daddy's new. A temperature. You want to buy a temperature? A thermostat? Okay. All right. We'll go in a minute. Okay. All right. Go play. All right. He wants to buy a temperature. But yeah, so if you just get your mindset right, people, I don't know why this happens, and it pisses me off so much. And I want you to hear the passion that I'm talking right now. I'm 36, okay, and I haven't lived through every depression that we've had, but I've gone through at least two of them in my lifetime, of people just, jobs cutting. I remember back, and maybe you don't remember back this far, but right now, if you go down to cereal aisle, yes, I'm talking about cereal. If you go down to cereal aisle, you're gonna find all different types of cereal. Yo, back in the last recession we had, they got rid of the cereal. They took cereal off the shelves. You had Frosted Flakes, Cheerios, Honey Nut Cheerios, Golden Grams. Like, you had a very select, like that. You had basic cereal. Now they got peanut butter Cheerios. They got Frosted Cheerios. They brought Count Dracula back. I'm talking about companies. Companies said, look, people are not buying these special cereals no more. So we're going to stop making those and let's go back to our basic cereals so we make the most money from. Like, back at that time, jobs were cutting. There was people, doctors lost half their pensions or 9% of their pension, where they couldn't retire as being a doctor, and they had to keep working full time as a doctor until they died because their sons and daughters were in college and they had to pay for them to go to college, and because their retirement was gone, they couldn't afford to pay for them to go to college now because their money was gone. So they had to keep working as a doctor, as a lawyer, as big professions until they die. They have to. They're still working now to this point because they don't have the money saved up or invested up for them to retire. And they make a lot of money. And the folks who don't make a lot of money, they struggled for a while. They even had McDonald's. At McDonald's, you had to bring a resume. Does anybody remember that? McDonald's had it to where you had to bring a resume to get a job at McDonald's back in the last recession. And so, like, people are not preparing their mind. They're not preparing themselves for what's about to happen again. It ain't a fact of if. It's going to happen again. I don't care if it happens in a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. It's going to happen. Are you prepared for it to happen? I'm not talking about like a whole explosion of having a bomb chamber and all that. That's still possible. That can happen to where we get bombed. But just financially, are you prepared at least in that situation to where if something was to happen to your money, your go-to income, that you use to pay for your wife, your kids, yourself to live in? Can you live for 6 months without that job? Can you live for 8 months if they cut you? If you cannot, you got to do something. You got to have a plan in place to help you get to that place or something. You got to do something. And if you don't have a plan, get help in getting a plan. I do have a plan. I'll share with you my plan. First step is to understand that what you spend, the money you spend, the things you're spending money on, are you spending money on those things to impress other people? Are you spending money on those things because you actually need those things? So make a list. Make a list of all the things you need to spend money on because you need them. And make this list honest because only you can see it. And then make another list on the other side of things that you spend money on that you really don't need. And I want you to see how much you spend on that right column. See how much money you're spending in the column of things that you really don't need. I don't care if that's cigarettes, a blunt. I don't care if that's, you buying 2 gallons of milk instead of 1. I don't care that you going to Costco and buying a big old thing of tissue when you don't use that much tissue. I don't care what it is. Okay? But make a list of things that you actually don't need compared to things that you actually have to pay for. All right? Lights, water, cable you don't need, but lights and water you do need. Cable is something that you do for entertainment because you want it. You don't have to pay $150 for cable. If you pay for that, it's because you want that. That is not something that you have to have. You got to spend $5 a month in groceries. You choose to do that. You can go to Aldi, but you don't want Aldi. You want the name brand stuff. See, there's a lot of things you gotta figure out. Okay, and it's something. I mean, even from, and I tell people all the time, I get knowledge from other people, and the only way that you can further yourself as a person is to understand that you got to be humble and be able to accept knowledge from other people, because that's the way you can grow. You learn from their mistakes, you learn from their successes. All right. And one thing I talk about Gary Vee a lot, one thing I learned about Gary Vee is that you got to learn how to live like ish. You got to learn how to live like that. Learn how to live on nothing. I've lived through not having nothing. Even before him, I've slept in cars. You know what I'm saying? I've slept outside. I've slept in some places that people don't even want to hear about. But, you know, I've been in the trenches. I know what it's like to go without. Some people nowadays cannot go without a Starbucks coffee or they're going to die. Like Starbucks coffee, they can't go without that for a day or they're going to have a problem. All right? So you got to separate your needs from your wants. And you got to start investing the money that you want to spend money on and invest it somewhere that's going to make you more money. Make it into an income producing asset. Do something. Or if not, what's going to happen is you're going to get your credit fixed and it'll be able to get you out of some situations. But after so long, and if you keep getting back in the same situations and it's going to happen because you're not changing your behavior, then you're going to get your credit fixed again. At the same time, you may not be able to because you may not have that job to fall back on, or you may not make as much money because they're cutting pay, or you might have been in a situation where people with the government shutdown couldn't even pay their credit cards. Now they got late payments, and a lot of these companies are not retroactively giving people the late payments back because they work for the government. People call me right now talking about, you know, I had late payments throughout the recession, and I told them, but they still remove off a credit report. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy. They worked and didn't get paid. I couldn't do that. But they worked and they didn't get paid no money at their job. But they kept coming to work, kept spending money on gas, driving an hour and a half to work. And no, I'm from DC, so you're going to drive an hour and a half to get to work, drive an hour and a half to get back. That's 3 hours of your day plus gas. And they did all that and didn't get paid. Didn't get paid. Or they finally did get paid now. But now it's too late. They've already messed up their credit. They've already got bills that's hitting them up. And all these companies are not as understanding. Some are, but all of them are not as understanding. Anyway, I'm going to get back to questions. Let's see, got some questions. You can ask some credit questions. Credit questions. Let's see. Yep, credit is queen, man. Yeah, I try to wake people up on some things like, you know, everybody talks about stay woke. And there's another thing, yo. Everybody not going to agree with me with this. It's just, I'm going to tell you me. I ain't give you no fake talk. I'm going to tell you that right now. So if you ever watch me, you ain't get no fake stuff, all right? So this whole thing about shopping in the black community right now because of the whole Gucci, Prada thing like that. Like, I'm going to tell you one thing right now. I ain't going to stop buying no Prada. If I want a Prada shirt and I like it, I'm going to buy a Prada shirt. I don't care about what people are trying to scapegoat as the black face and all that. They're going to take anything they can and make it news and make it blow up and do all that kind of stuff and all that. Not saying I don't shop black. I shop black. I shop white. If I like the product, I'm going to shop there. If I don't like the product, I'm not going to shop there. Point blank period. No matter what the color is. But I do support my community just like other people support their community. But doesn't mean that I'm not going to stop shopping outside of my community just because something is happening in the news. That is not the way I operate. I have something that I like, something that I've known that's quality, something that works. I will keep spending money with that product or service because I know it works. Not because society is telling me not to do it because of what they believe is going on. Okay, do you really believe that all these companies were doing these things in order to for lack of a better word, play on ethnicities of color? Do you think that's what they were doing? They were just publicly like, you know what? We don't want no more of anybody's money that's of color. We're just gonna make this product and make something where they're gonna hate us and not pay us some more money. I mean, if you think, but I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna get too far into that. But I want people to actually think for themselves, not think from the media. because all of it is a distraction. A lot of folks say they're not going to shop there, and they can't afford to shop there. It's easy for you to make that decision. It's easy for you to say, okay, I don't want no more Prada. I don't want no more Gucci. You ain't buying none. You bought one belt 5 summers ago. Now you're talking about you ain't buying no more Gucci. Come on, bro. Stop it. Cut it out. All right? I want people to shop. If you're black and you want to shop black at black-owned stores, great. Nothing wrong with that. But don't act like you don't buy Charmin tissue, which is not owned by a black person. Okay? You're not going out trying to find the Charmin or whoever owns the black tissue company. Okay? Let's just cut that out. All right? I just want people to wake up to their situation. Wake up to what's going on in your family. What is affecting you directly or indirectly? All right? What's affecting your eye gates? What's affecting your ear gates? All right? And I hate that I say all right all the time, and I'm trying to work on that. I just said it in my other video. I do say all right a lot. That's kind of like my pause word. That's like me saying, that's like a rapper who's rapping. He says the N word when he stops. Is like kind of his thinking word, okay? So y'all leave me alone. I'm still working on that, on my speech there, okay? Let me look for some more questions though before I continue. Yeah, you gotta hear some real stuff, man. You gotta hear some real stuff. I know y'all want to hear credit stuff too, but I try to throw some real nuggets in there. Got your attention. Might as well give you something that you can think about. I mean, all I want people to do is think. I don't want people to try to be robots, you know. You got it, Jeremiah. You do it. I'll do it later. Go ahead and do it for right now, okay? You got wipes in there? Okay. Give me a second. Let me see if I got some questions here. I'm not moving around. Yeah, I try to keep it real, man. I try to keep it real. Gotta help my son out real quick. 1 second. Oh man, you don't have nothing in there. Hey, your mama left you high and dry. Give me a second. All right, but yep. Anybody got another question? Another question? You're trying to help my son out. Questions. Oh. Real talk.
Daddy.
Yes, sir.
Daddy came here. You got this horse and dropped it.
I appreciate that. Who's that? Keith? Oh, man. Keith, what's up, man? All right.
It's time for daddy time.
Daddy time?
Yes.
All right. All right. Pull your pants up. Just wash your hands.
It's daddy time.
Yep. Wash your hands, boy. All right. There you go. Good job. All right. I'm back. Quick pause. Thank y'all for waiting. Jeremiah, go dry your hands and go play, okay? He always wants to be around daddy, so like I said, my apologies. All right. We live, baby. Yeah, that's my boy. That's the young king right there. Teaching him how to trade. I was teaching him how to trade stocks when he was 2 years old, man. I was showing him stocks and numbers and, so, yeah, try to train him up. Try to train him up the right way with information. Here's another thing. I just want to ask y'all a serious question. Serious question. Okay? If you had to do it all over again and you went to college and you spent $30,000, $40,000, on that degree, and you didn't get the job you wanted. You didn't get the job you were expecting. Okay, some of you all did. But if you didn't get the job you wanted, and you knew you weren't going to get that job, would you have still gone? Would you still have gone and got the loans and paid? Even though you had a great experience, you got to sleep in the dorm rooms. You might have had your first sexual experience, maybe. Maybe it wasn't. But you had a good time your first year. You got to, you know, just party, stuff like that. You know, you got the college experience for what they say. But other than that, other than the college experience and everything, which you probably remember your friends, you remember, you know, all that. But minus that part, with all the money you spent, like, would you have still gone? Would you have still gone? If you just think about what you know now to this day, what you've learned over the years, and now the person you are today is about to go to college, would you go and spend all that money? Not saying you wouldn't go, because you might got some loans, not loans, some grants, stuff like that. But with all the money you spent, would you have still gone? And if you still go, why? What's the reason? And I'm not judging your reason. I just wanted to ask why. You know? He said, "Let's Tommy Hilfiger did." But yes, I deal with business credit. I'm waiting on some bank approvals, some new bank approvals right now. So it's gonna be a beautiful thing, man. I got these applications in for these business credit funding deals, and man, when I get that go ahead, oh my God, it's gonna be a lituation for real. Let me see. Yeah, you definitely can be successful. You know, you don't have to have a degree to be successful. It's just that right now, if you want a traditional job right now, a lot of society will make you have to get a degree. But unfortunately, there are a lot of people who have degrees in a different field than what they work in. You know, I got people who have degrees to be a teacher, but they're not teaching, if that makes sense. Or they got an English degree, but they're, you know, a manager at Foot Locker, something like that. You know, nothing wrong working at Foot Locker. I'm just saying this person has a degree, you know, and they're working a job that somebody could have just started out at 16 and been the manager at 18, compared to this person having a degree working at the same place. And that's the only issue I have, because if you look at this, and this is what I tell people all the time who would come to my financial seminars. I used to do a lot of financial seminars, okay? And I would say, okay, if you look at this one state, and right now I'm in North Carolina, okay? So you look at this one state. I'm in North Carolina. North Carolina, we got a lot of colleges. NC State, UNC, Duke University. We got Black historical colleges, NC A&T. We got just in my place alone, like within a 30-minute to an hour drive from where I'm at, St. Augustine, like I can count at least 15 colleges, and 8 of them be major colleges within an hour of where I am. Now, if I look at the whole entire state as a whole, my God, I don't even know how many. But let's just say every 6 months, including December, okay, when people graduate, every 6 months you've got, I don't know, 50,000 students graduating. Every 6 months, 50,000. Are there 50,000 new jobs in North Carolina every 6 months? The answer is no. But let's take it a step further. Let's say you're graduating from here, but you're flying somewhere else to go work. So now you want to go to California, you want to go to Florida, where now that state has about 200,000 people graduating every 6 months. And you're going to take your 50,000 from this state and fly over there to that state and try to fight with their jobs over there. Now, are there 250 to 300,000 jobs available in those states every 6 months? No, there is not. So there will always be a shortage of jobs no matter what field you apply for. No matter what they say is popping. They say, oh man, this field is popping so much. And they may not say the word popping. They may use their own technical slang or whatever, or no slang at all. They might say, "Oh, these are available. These are very great jobs." Okay, I don't care what they say, but I'm just gonna tell you how I'm gonna talk. They're gonna say this right here is popping. This field right now is growing so much. Come to ADI or ABP or this and get your this and do coding and do all this because it's gonna have so much longevity and all that crap. But the reality remains because I can't talk English that well. All I can do is math. I don't do emotions. I do add, subtract, multiply, divide. Everything else is just BS and big words in between that I don't care about. The math tells me that these jobs are not going to be available for everyone. Boy, go in your room. I'll come get you when I'm ready. Talking about he want to go now. What's wrong with him? Okay, but you're not going to be able to do this, get this degree, and just automatically find the job because you're special, because the numbers don't lie. The numbers already tell me that you're going to have a large population, and I'm talking about 75% of the people who graduate, 75% that graduate in a certain field will not find a job when they first graduate. Out of that 75, only about, and I'll be nice, only about 60% of them people still won't find a job after 5 years after they graduate. And that's being really nice. So when people tell me these things and they get hyped up about these degrees and all this kind of stuff, and I'm not knocking degrees. I want to make that very clear, because if you want to be a doctor, you gotta go to school for that crap. You're not operating on me if you ain't been to school to be no doctor. That you can't learn that online. You can't watch no YouTube video talking about you a doctor. Okay, I don't want to hear that crap. You're not cutting me open. So certain things make sense to go to school for. Certain things make sense because that's your passion. But even still, when you become a doctor, why not get your own practice at some point? Why not own something from it and not just work for somebody and where you're enslaved the rest of your life, though? You know? And I'm not trying to be extra critical of people who get degrees, because I could have been in the same position. My wife has a degree. She has two degrees actually, because she also went to grad school. You know what I'm saying? So that's a lot of, my wife has one. I'm not judging my wife for that. I was with her throughout the whole process of her getting one and everything. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, now, when you really think about it and you go and you look at things, you're like, yo, was it worth it? And it's all about reflection. I'm not trying to make you do, I want you to think, is it worth it? You know? Is it worth all the headache and heartache, and now we're struggling? Like, people can barely afford to pay for their mortgages or their rent and their car payment. Now you're talking about, I gotta spend $400, $500 a month on the student loan. And I was promised this job that I didn't get. And I've been applying every 6 months, and ain't nobody hiring me. They're talking about they want to get somebody who has experience. How can I have experience if you won't give me experience? Oh, you got to have 1-2 years experience. I don't have 1-2 years. I'm trying to get in the door. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy how they do you, and you're like back and forth like a ping pong ball, but you got to eat. So you work somewhere, and then you get stuck working at that place, and you don't have time to go on interviews now because you're working from 9 to 5 throughout the day. So when it's time for interviews, you can't go because you can't take off work. If you do take off work, you risk losing your job, and you may not get the new job you're trying to go get. And so you're stuck. And so you've got to do something on your own time to get yourself out of being stuck. You can call it a rat race, you can call it whatever, but you've got to get yourself out of wherever you are if you are stuck. Everybody I'm talking to is not stuck, okay? I'm just letting you know, if you are stuck, or if you don't have something set up, or if you're sitting on a vision and you're not birthing that vision every day. What I mean by birthing your vision, I mean by actually putting forth effort into your business, into that vision, to where it's growing to where it's almost there to where it's going to be revealed to the world, to where it's going to be booming. You're going to be bringing in, thousands to millions of dollars. But if you're not working on it, where, okay, like now, you're writing a plan, and then you're executing part of that plan, and then, the next night you get home from work, what I'm saying, you're writing up some letters. The next night you got a little bonus on your check. You went ahead and got an EIN number, and then you went the next 2 weeks or whatever, or next 2 months, then you bought an LLC. I mean, just growing yourself to where you're elevating to another level of business, wealth, and changing your whole lifestyle. That's the whole thing I'm talking about. Just changing where you are, getting out of the situation that you're in if you don't like it. A lot of people love where they're at. They love their jobs, and there's nothing wrong with loving where you're at. But all I'm saying is, do they love you that much to where they're going to keep you forever? If they do, fantastic. If they don't like you today, you can be gone just like that. So anyway, credit wise, any other questions? Any other questions? Okay, I know I was going to lose some viewers for that, and that's fine. I just like to get some truth, man. Get some truth. But hope you all enjoyed the video. Hopefully I answered your questions. Tomorrow is Valentine's Day. It's a great day to show love. If you're only showing love on Valentine's Day, then you've already lost. That one day ain't gonna do it for you. You be showing love all the time, showing your affection to your wife, your spouse, and don't forget about us men. We, get your man a Hennessy bottle or something. Get him some Ciroc. Get him something that he likes to drink. You know what I'm saying? Like get him some men's shampoo or something. Do something special for your guy. Don't be waiting on no flowers at your job. You know what I'm saying? Like, get him something. Like, he wants something. He may not be expecting anything, and that's when you need to get him something. Get your man something. Get him something. He's a tech guy. Give him a Best Buy gift card. It's not, you don't have to do a lot. Do something, though. Hey, don't be talking about don't get no 50-cent card from Dollar Tree because they buy two, get one for $1. All right? Do you have a training program or affiliate where I can learn this thing? What thing do you need to learn? You can hit me up. Give me a call. If you just want more information. Yeah, don't be giving no card like that. Give us something we actually want. Make us feel special sometimes. Especially if your man doing a lot of work. Yeah, we like stuff too. You feel me? We like stuff too. Shoot. We ain't that hard, Give a little Home Depot, Best Buy, give us a little gift card to Foot Locker or something if he likes shoes. Give him an ESPN gift card so he can buy his jersey off ESPN.com or something. Buy him a football ticket. To the first game of the next season of the NFL. Get them J's. Something. Buy him a hoodie if he likes hoodies like I do. Something. But anyway, hope y'all enjoy your Valentine's Day. I will not be doing one tomorrow on Valentine's Day because I will be enjoying my wife, and we'll be doing something tomorrow that I can't tell you about. So, anyway, hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you need any credit services, today hit me up. Tomorrow I'll only be available for the first couple of hours of the day. Then I'll be back to action on Friday, things like that. But yeah, actually that's not gonna work. But hope y'all enjoyed this